How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing whether or not, if you're in the market for one, you should buy a manual Supra or get a manual new 400Z. But before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff down there below. Also, if you are subscribed, be sure to click that little bell icon to turn on post notifications to get notified every single time that I do post a new video. It's absolutely free. It really does help me out a lot as a smaller YouTuber, and I do really appreciate all the support. But getting all that stuff out of the way, for today's video, we're basically going to be looking at a 3.0 2023 Supra and comparing it to a Nissan Z. Now, I also, as you can see right here, have multiple different trims of the Supra right in front of me. And if you have been subscribed to my channel, you know that a couple months back I did a kind of reaction video. Now, in that very first video I did talking about the new manual Supra, I actually reacted to the A91 MT edition, which you can see here is a significant amount more expensive than the regular 3.0. However, this 3.0 as well as the 3.0 Premium can both be offered in that manual transmission option, and Toyota's saying that they're not really adding a price. However, there is a little sneaky service charge that actually someone who commented in one of my videos did actually point out to me, so I would keep my eye on that. However, from what my understanding, it was like a $500 charge or maybe like $1,000 charge. Now, moving on to the Z. The starting MSRP of the Z Sport and the Z Performance are basically 10 grand off, and the Z Sport starts at 41, the Z Performance starting at 51. So the Performance is pretty much right in line with the regular 3.0, not even like the 3.0 Premium offered by Toyota. So the 3.0 and the 3.0 Premium, the 3.0 starts at 52.5 and the 3.0 Premium starts at 55 or just over 55.5 thousand US dollars. Now, some would say that right off the bat, you should pick the Z over the Supra, and you could probably tell by, I guess, this poster behind me that I'm most likely going to side with the Z in this video. However, even though the Z looks better on paper performance-wise, some people have already had their chance to compare the Z and the new Supra on a track together, and honestly, the Supra, it kind of holds its own compared to the new Z, considering that the Z is making 400 horsepower right out of the gate, and that Supra makes right around like 20 less horsepower right at like 380. It still does have a decent amount of torque. That, I think, B58 or the BMW engine that's in the Supra does have a decent amount of torque, which you can see right here at 368 peak foot-pounds of torque. So honestly, the two cars, when it comes to performance, aren't really like separated by as big of a margin as people thought they would be when they were like first hyping up the Z. Now, the Toyota also does have another very real advantage that not a lot of people are talking about, because you can't really, I guess, measure this on a graph or anything, but the Supra is already a proven platform. Toyota has already had this thing in production for like 2 or 3 years now, whereas the Z is just coming into production. So, like I also pointed out in a recent video of a dealership, I think in Washington State or Oregon, somewhere in the Northwest, that's actually trying to sell a launch edition Z for like 130 grand. Honestly, who knows how much these Zs are actually going to be marked up in the real world, because although the Toyotas, yes, have been selling over their sticker price just like everything else in the current car market, Toyota hasn't really, I think, inflated the Supra price to be something incredibly unreasonable. Whereas with Nissan and the Z, I really hope that Nissan, does the same thing and, tries to keep the prices low. But honestly, who knows? Like, no one really knows yet until the thing's actually in the dealership. So I would say, if you are in the market and can afford like either one, and you're like looking for a sports car of that price range, and you've narrowed your shopping down to the Z and the manual Supra, I would say just give it a rest. Wait until maybe this winter or maybe even next spring, unless you ordered one of the cars already. Then by all means just go with what you ordered with. But I would say definitely sit it out for at least a little bit, maybe until even the next model year, because as much as I've been raving on the new Z, and really I do love the car, I got the opportunity to sit in it and do like a walk around on my channel during the New York Auto Show when one was actually displayed. However, I haven't driven one yet, so I can't really tell you guys how they drive. Some people were honestly surprised both ways. Some people really love how it drives, and other people don't really like the rev match. I know that was kind of a complaint on the Z Performance trim, and also they said that the car is a little bit like nose heavy. So I know for a fact that the new Z definitely does beat the Supra in a straight line. I'm almost 100% certain on that. However, around a track, and if you're going to be going to motocross events with this car, honestly, who knows? Like, it's literally going to come down to your own personal preference. I would, again, side with the Z. I said it before, I'm definitely biased. I've been hyping up this new Nissan Z for quite some time now. However, I just love the fact that Nissan is just making it themselves. Now, if I was in the position to go ahead and like afford like a brand new Z or finance a new Z, I probably would 100% do it because, again, Nissan is making it themselves, and honestly, Nissan is extremely proven themselves, whereas Toyota, the Toyota and BMW partnership hasn't, I think, been like really established that much besides with this new generation of the Supra. And because of that, I'm almost certain that the new like maintenance cost on the Supra is definitely elevated compared to other Toyota models. However, if you sit in it, like I actually drove a 2021 Supra back in 2020 on the channel, and I have to say, like, everything about it is BMW, which is not a bad thing if you like a BMW Z4. However, it's essentially a BMW Z4. The body is different, but the interior is exactly the same. The drivetrain is practically exactly the same. I know, again, with this new manual transmission, who knows how that trans is going to differ from the automatic. And although, the new Supra is essentially a BMW Z4, the BMW Z4 is a fantastic car, and the new Supra is a fantastic car. When I drove it, I had a crap ton of fun, and that was an automatic, so I can only imagine how awesome it would be to have a new Supra with a manual transmission. That was actually even one of the things, now I'm remembering, like 2 years ago practically, but that was one of the things that I kept repeating in that review, is that I just wish that that car came with a manual transmission, and now that wish is actually coming true. So hopefully I do get a manual Supra actually on the channel to do a physical review on it, as well as a new Z. These are two cars that I really love to drive for you guys on the channel. But honestly, that's pretty much just gonna be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, again, definitely be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff down below. It really does help me out a ton as a small YouTuber. But like always, thank you guys so much for the continued support, and I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.